All right, are we live? Let's see. All right, are we live? Yeah, we're in here. Good morning, guys. How are you? It is Saturday, of course. Look who's missing, as always. As always, I don't know why you guys give her credit. I'm always here, on time, doing anything and everything. It's just a typical Saturday. If we're ever late to any event, here's the reason why, right? Every Saturday, same time, same story, an empty chair. So let's see what we got going on. How are you guys in the chat? Good morning, Uncle Ed. How are you? Chris Small Engines. Happy Saturday. Nick Small Engines. Good morning. And who else is in here? Let's get this party started. Elbow cough. Yeah, I know, right? Someone's late. Good morning, Good morning, Casey. How are you? Glad you're here. You've been very busy. I'm jealous. I'm busy too, but we're two different types of busy. I still can't believe the amount of free equipment that you get. It's like godly, like, you know what I mean? It's like you almost have like your own like Sanford and Son person. I could never get that much free stuff. No way. No way. Good morning, Ashley. How are you? Mr. Mudmower 7. Happy Saturday. We've been chatting all week long. But need some coffee. Absolutely. You know what? I was up I think maybe around like 4:30, 5:30 this morning. So I'm up to 2 cups myself, and I cut myself off because, you know, the ramifications of having too much coffee at a certain time. You know what I mean? But this week has been insane as usual. We had a storm here, and I think they were saying like winds got up to like 65 miles an hour. You know, knock on wood, you know, we didn't have any damage per se. I mean, we only have like 3 trees left. 4. But like 3 trees that if they kick the bucket, we could care less. We actually hope they do. But we've had no damage. Other people don't have the same story as us. It is what it is. But now we have an influx of generators, and it's like, you know, I can't say the word. I mean, like the ignorance and arrogance per se. You know, we have noise restrictions where we live, and they're strictly enforced. You have to see the amount of people that, you know, want to stop by at 11, 12 o'clock at night and say, oh, yeah, fix my generator. I have it with me. You know, how long do you think it's going to take? Should I wait? Or, you know, call me when you're done. Like, no, that's not how it works, sweetheart. Absolutely not. There is no place that does that. Even if you're commercial, there is no way. There's no store that you could like do that. And this, whatever is going on now, was just really stressing it because, you know, a lot of people had, you know, freezers and fridges, you know, stocked with food, and, you know, they have no idea when the power is going to go on. Okay. The availability of food, from what I understand by us, is better, abundant, you know, per se. But I mean, the prices, I guess, are still the same. So, you know, people were trying to, I guess you could say, like, guilt me into trying to fix their machine right then and there. But it just didn't happen. It's never going to happen, especially at 11, 12 o'clock at night. If I definitely want my neighbors to make a few phone calls, that is a fantastic excuse for them, especially when they just ban leaf blowers, right? So if they ban leaf blowers for spreading the virus, can you imagine me trying to fix someone's generator 11, 12 o'clock at night? I mean, and even on the community pages, there were people who actually had generators running, and then people were complaining about them. And it's like, oh my God. You know, it's like, you need to calm down. You need to relax. You're just jealous because they have electricity and you don't. But, you know, other than that, it's been good. I think they kind of released the ban where we are per se of like, you know, people are now allowed to go out and about, which is like dangerous per se. You have people who've been cooped up in their house for 2-3 weeks getting in the car for the first time. Scary, man. Scary, scary, scary. Definitely grateful I have a dash cam because there's just a lot of idiots on the road. And I don't know why. It just cracks me up. You're allowed to be in public, but you have to have a face mask on. How many people are driving with the face mask on, confined in their car? It almost makes me wonder what their cabin air filter looks like, right? You know, that thing is probably caked with dust in the first place. Never even thought to change it in the first place. And here they are, you know, running around with a face mask. Hold on. Hey, Jason, it's snowing here. Oh, hold on. I'm going through the comments. Hold on. Heading home from the Toro deal. Oh, okay. Trump is going to be reelected for sure. Yep, absolutely. Wouldn't put it past me. I'd put good money on that. Heading home from the Toro dealer. That's fantastic. So we were on Matt Olson's live, which is a fantastic live. Okay. He does nothing but chainsaws. And he is not in it for the money per se. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm in it for the money, right? I do what I do because I'm in it for the money. Oh, you're so corny.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Here we go. Here's her lame excuse. Here's a lame excuse.
Oh, wait. Playtime was over? Sorry, guys. We were
no.
Little playtime.
No. It's a very poor excuse. Very lame.
Oh, your tie?
Lame.
Sorry.
Lame. Don't believe one word she's saying. So anyway,
he's so bashful.
So anyway, we were on Matt Olson's live, and all he does is chainsaws, and he is not in it for the money because he is. I gamble. I can't even say he's a gambler. He will buy part saws off eBay, not running, not knowing why they're not blown up, and he will systematically, thoroughly. You show up late and then you disrupt. Are you serious?
You're so.
He will systematically, methodically just go through these chain stores step by step. No matter what the cost is, he will repair them, upgrade them. It's fascinating. I find myself listening to him when I'm in the car or going on the road because, like, what I feel like Matt is like what do they call that? Like an electronic book, and that's what Matt is. Now, I try and not buy basket cases, but I've bought a Husqvarna. I forgot what it was. I think it's like a T345 or whatever in 3 pieces for $20. I'm like, you know what? Because of Matt, I'm going to take on this basket case, and whatever happens, happens. I know Ken Small Engines also spoke about that they make a lot of Chinese parts that are good. So hopefully it doesn't need too much per se, but if it does, it's quick and easy money. So anyway, so we were on his live. I have a modified Toro Time Master. Ken was talking about a Time Master, so I gave him some part numbers for my trials and tribulations. So I hope that he was able to work stuff out with his Toro dealer, and even better, that they have them in stock. So Polar Bear Ed, are there cabin filters? Just like people don't think to service their lawnmowers, people don't think that there's cabin filters. You'd be amazed. Amazed. Mr. Mark Tucker, how are you? Hope all is well. Hope you're feeling better. Mark was finishing up on quarantine. He is back in action. Hopefully
Mark,
on the road.
It was great to see you last night.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like on the live. Hey, if you were closer, that'd be great. I mean, like, to come over for dinner. Your wife is amazing.
So Thomas Andrew said he's snowing. I'm absolutely jealous. Is Scott getting snow too?
Yeah, I have a friend in Denver. She got like over a foot. It's crazy.
Yeah, but when did it snow by us? But it was like, it didn't feel cold enough, and people were like, I thought it was dust.
It was like, yeah, it was dusty. But it has, this whole week in New York has been like bitter and crisp and like just nipply.
Yeah.
That's the best word. Just nipply. In fact, I was talking to Mama Pate this week, and I was like, I went out to get the mail and the garbage pails too, and it was like, I messaged her, and I'm like, is it cold? I was like, I'm freezing. And she was like, yeah, it's cold. It's cold.
So exactly why I tell people I don't do repairs. So repairs to me are a double-edged sword, as you guys could see in this lovely controversial John Deere
Matt's
video
in the house.
I posted.
Hi, Maddie.
Right?
Maddie, it's like the put Matt on a pedestal moment.
Oh, okay. Oh, he just joined. Oh, Matt, so
Matt,
you got to go back a couple
Matt,
of minutes.
you're not an ant. You are the queen bee, baby, right now. It's all the accolades to you. We really, really are singing your praises right now.
So repairs are like a double-edged sword, right? I mean, I used to have a good system with repairs, and then it completely fell apart because I guess people took advantage of my kindness or weakness, and I got a lot more bad than good. I used to have people, because I'm always busy working. All right, listen, I don't do any advertising. It's strictly through, word of mouth. Sometimes I'll put like an advertisement out, or I'll turn someone looking for a repair and they use me for service. I'll turn that into my running advertisement. But there's a couple people who do repairs in the area that are just like me. And, me and Henry and Brian and a few other guys, like we have a healthy relationship. Some of these people don't have a healthy relationship. So I just kind of trying to, just twist them a little bit, So, and they try and use certain things to like wheel people in instead of trying to showcase their talents and what they're doing. Like there's this one guy who's like, oh, I'm a volunteer firefighter. Like choose me for a repair. Like no, that doesn't make any sense. Show me what you can do. Show me your work. Like I have a portfolio per se of things that I do. Show me your portfolio. Just don't sit there and say, hey, I'm a volunteer firefighter. I do ads, right? And then he'll try and get my prices and then he'll undercut mine. He'll offer things. It's like ridiculous. Like, come on, man, just have a nice conversation. Let's do this together. And there's a couple other guys out there, just weird. Their tactics are different than mine. And I don't know. I just don't like it, per se. So repairs are a double-edged sword. So I used to have people, listen, drop off the machine, tell me what's wrong with it. It's $25, diagnostic fee. Leave it with the machine and we'll go from there. It used to never be leave it with the machine. You just like, all right, yeah, $25 diagnostic fee. If you go through it, the pair, $25 goes with it. I had more machines than I wanted to because there were some machines that weren't even worth the $25. So I would get stuck with them and they got to go. So then now it used to be $25 up front with the machine. But then as you guys see with the John Deere, I used to I got an influx of, my machine needs a tune-up. Okay, fantastic. You get the machine in, there's no gas, so you got to put gas in it. Okay, and then the machine doesn't run. And then you call them up and you have to explain to them that a tune-up is not going to fix your machine. I don't understand where this idea came from. Like, oh, if you put a new spark plug in, it's not going to fix my machine. Like 99%, it's not a problem. And, people say, oh, it ran last year. You pull the carburetor apart or you pull the cowling apart and, there's a nice community that's living in there. Like this thing hasn't ran in 3 or 4 years. So from now on, it come in like I have to be home in order for you to drop off the machine. And I want you, not me, I want you to try and start this machine. If it doesn't run, then it's a different conversation that we're going to have right here face to face. And you're going to make that decision. Do you want to drop this off repair and hand me my money or not? Now, I've done a few repairs. I didn't video log them, but this was the first one with social distancing. And the only reason why I didn't tell this person piss off and go someplace else is that I did a repair for somebody 2 years ago, and he is a great guy. Always stops by the house checking on us, always referring us because I did very good by him. He had a Toro personal pace lawnmower where the engine locked up. He's one of those guys, never thought to change the oil. So, I spoke to him. I says, listen, it's going to be, $65. I have to open up the engine. I'm going to smack that piston down. And whatever happens, happens. I says, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I was like, but if it does work, I have no idea how long it's going to last. So he says, okay, that's fine. Let's do it. Because he brought it to a repair shop and they didn't want to entertain him at all. They just wanted to sell him a brand new lawnmower for $300-400. And he was like, no, I love this lawnmower. I have to try it. So I smacked his piston down. There's actually a little dent in the top, which I was like kind of upset about. I soaked the piston in diesel for about 2-3 days, pulled the head off, took a brass punch, gave him one good whack, and that thing broke free. So he's been in love with me ever since. So that's how this guy with the John Deere came into the picture. So this guy lives in like a cul-de-sac, which is like a really nice dead end. So I service everybody there because of him. And I actually do some automotive work as well on their cars from them as well. So that's the only reason why I entertain this guy. And he wanted to practice social distancing, but he was very extreme. You know, he didn't want me there at all. Not even in the driveway, not even nothing. He wanted me to stay inside the house. So it's like, forget about it. So I said, you know what? I'm at work. I'm probably going to get aggravated just looking at you. So I said, you know what? I'd rather just not be home because I don't have any tolerance lately for shenanigans like this. I know I said you have to respect each other. I mean, you don't need, I'm going to work on your machine, but you don't even want me to be there to look at it. So obviously, guys, you've seen, check out that video, right? He said that he hit a tree stump 2 years ago. The machine is a hard start. He did the keyway. And he thought he did it wrong. And I ended up succeeding in repairing this and succeeding in getting a $128 repair bill from him. But you guys have to see the steps how it got there. And that's like the double-edged sword. Like, I mean, like if that was like, that's like, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. You can't go into any repair shop and be like, you know, I'm going to drop off my lawnmower after hours and, you know, fix it, see you later, love you, bye. That's not how it works. So, how long am I rambling on?
Well, let me I just want to say two quick things. And then I want to invite our friends in. Two, I do think this is, I have to agree, Matt. I don't know if it's necessarily a beard. I think it's the extension of the mullet. I think the mullet's just taken over.
So listen, so we talked about a haircut, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to let her cut my hair.
Yeah.
But like, if you guys could see,
just let
it's
me
wild right now. So I don't know. I was thinking about it this morning. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to let her cut my hair, right? Just for fun, right? We're going to do a video. Maybe we'll do a live. She's just going to cut my hair. And whatever, you know, happens, right? But I'm not sure if I want to do it two ways. One, she'll cut my hair in the midst of all this. Or two, let's see how long this goes. And when they say, all right, guys, everything's back to normal, go to your barber. Let's have her cut my hair then. So I don't know if I'm going to wait till the end or have her do it in between.
So I have trimmed his hair, like the back of his neck and the nape of his neck before. And my other experiences with cutting hair, before I went into education, I was a year and a half, almost 2 years pre-med. I have had human cadaver experience with hair. I don't know if that counts for anything. He's alive though, so very different smell. I wanted to go back really, really quick before we move on. You made me lawn. I love your name, by the way. Just keep doing things your way because it's working. I just wanted to highlight what you just said because we just had this talk this morning. I just wanted to point out how important that is because as I've been kind of like, you know, I'm all over the small engine channels and I'm all over like the educational ones, home improvement, house stuff. And the one thing that really kind of sets you apart on the channels is being original to you. And what I love about like the guys in this chat right now and some of the ones across the pond that aren't here right now and our Canadian buddies and you guys are you and you're original to you. And Matt, you said on your live last night, nobody wants to be an ant and just one of the crowd. And I'm starting to see some of these new guys coming out, and I sit here and I watch. I know the struggle of a new channel, and you want to get those subscribers, you want to get your name out there. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching and I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. Be you. And you know what? It's funny. People are so quick to be keyboard warriors and attack. It's hard to do. It's hard to do this. Being on YouTube, putting yourself out there, you got to have a thick skin. And there are men and women, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, who are on YouTube, we've all experienced, who are so quick to find the one little thing you did wrong and, sock it to you and then not let it go. They got to remind you about 20 times, what you did wrong, even when you admit to it.
Are you triggered?
Not at all. Not at all.
Triggered.
I'm in a leadership role, and I find it so funny when I see some of these grown men, for example, who are like, they can't let something go. And I'm like, oh man, you would never make it in a leadership role because there's so much you got to let go when you're in a leadership role. And I find it so funny that they take YouTube as their forum to be a keyboard warrior. So I laugh it off because they'll sit there and say, I'm not going to sit here and subscribe to this guy no more because, he does X, Y, and Z.
Oh, I didn't change the spark plug on it too.
It's like, buddy, you're not about drama. Look at you. You're doing this. That's drama. Oh, my word. And you're 60, 70 years, 80 years old.
You don't know how old they are.
No, some of them will advertise, I'm 60 years old and I'm not about the drama. It's like, come on.
Is this on our channel or someone else's?
I don't want to embarrass anyone because we're all adults here, but it's like, just be you. Just be true to yourself.
Which channel are you talking about?
I'm not going to embarrass anyone.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, if you're someone new and you're coming out, just be you. And just remember when you're sitting there being a keyboard warrior, it's not easy to be on the other end. And I often say to myself, when you're sitting there being a keyboard warrior, if you want to be a keyboard warrior, make a channel. If you want to sit there and put your thoughts out there, create a channel. It's not easy. Or, run for a leadership role if you got a lot to say, right? But I'm noticing there's 28 people here. There's not 28 little thumbs happening.
How do you know that?
And there's also not 28 people in the chat. So that tells me there's some people hanging out behind the scenes. So, hi, ghost people. Hi, people watching for other people. You're kind of funny because you guys are the ones who are not commenting and saying hi.
Oh, that's right.
Really immature.
Oh my God, we have to do the spring giveaway.
Let's go ahead.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you invite people.
Let's throw in a link.
Oh no.
And let's get our real community in here. And let's get our buddies in here who are all about the community. So,
what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm educating. I'm educating the friends who are the community. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Alrighty. Anywho.
So as far as about charging, about overcharging, that's a fantastic thing. So I kind of
Mastermind. You just got an A. Good job. Excellent.
See, but now Mastermind, because
now we know you're here. Now you're in the giveaway, honey.
Here's the deal. Remember, this is how you guys enter the giveaway. You guys have to comment on a live, whether you're in the live with us or after the fact. Just drop a comment. That's how you guys enter a live.
Hold on. I love it. Casey, you're awesome, man. I love it.
You got to go up. Oh.
I love it. Polar Bear, I hear you, dude. I hear you. Warriors out to play. LOL.
Hey, what's up, Nick? How are you?
Hey,
good. How are you, man?
Hands
Hello.
up, baby. Hands up.
So Nick, where you from, man?
I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
So you're our neighbor.
Local,
yeah, exactly.
And Nick, I have to tell you, brother, I know you're a newer channel coming out, and I have to tell you, my little spiel just now definitely wasn't directed towards you. I've been seeing you come up on the lives.
Oh, I know.
You
Yeah.
are definitely being yourself. You have been such a gentleman on the lives that you've been on. And you know what? I hate to say it. It's some of your older counterparts who are being a little cloney of some other channels. And I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you for being you. And that's the way you're going to get subscribers. Being yourself. People don't want to see another channel. They want to see yourself.
Yeah.
You got to set yourself apart.
Thank you.
Well, hello, everybody.
Good
Hello.
morning. Oh, you got Ken. So where in New Jersey are you? Because we have family in Jackson.
Oh yeah, that's south of me. Yeah, I'm up north. I'm in Caldwell.
Oh, okay.
She
Okay,
knows
I'm
better than
familiar
I
with.
am. Horrible.
I'll give you so the Mister has no sense of direction. When we first met, the Mister and I only grew up. I want to say maybe 12 minutes apart, but we never met till we were like after college, later in life. When we met, I still lived in the same town, but just in a different area in the same town. He had to use a navigation, and my apartment was maybe 5 minutes from his house. And he continued to use a navigation to get to my apartment for the first like 3 months. So, no sense of direction. Love him, and he's extremely intelligent, but no sense of direction whatsoever. None.
That's the description of that is.
Yeah, pretty much. So good at everything else. Just like lucky when we come down to Rhode Island because we love Newport. In fact, I was just thinking of you. I had a dream last night of Newport because I'm
you had a dream and you were thinking about me.
No, you have all you need with Cheryl. But I'll be honest, we definitely probably would have done like a long weekend by now in Newport. I'm missing it so much.
Yes.
But in Newport, now you know it's kind of hard to get lost there.
That
He
one,
can
yeah.
do it. He can do
I
it.
just need a GPS.
Aw, good morning, Mom. Mommy P is in the house. Yay. And it is a nice hat. He's got on our favorite Arians.
Well, some people are getting snow, so KCB is getting snow. And
We're
it's
jealous.
jealous.
Right, Scotty.
Aw. Mommy, say hi to Dad. If you want to
Aaron's is a
talk
good
about
name.
a gentleman, Daddy Pate is probably the ultimate Renaissance man. When you talk about where this one knows everything he's ever learned, that's where he's learned it from. Absolutely. Not a book, not schooling, from his dad. Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Let's see if he's going to be putting time out.
Oh, gosh. What
Oh,
happened
wow.
to Kenny?
Oh, wait, what happened to Kenny? No, I didn't drop anything.
Oh, his phone wasn't cooperating.
Oh, okay.
Ken, when you go inside, let us know, honey. Oh, Cheryl, we love you, honey.
Ken.
So I'm a little nervous about Lucky when we'll get to see you next time because I don't know about you, but here in New York, his mom was telling me that they have announced, like in the city, the beaches will be closed over the summer. So we're anticipating it's going to come to the island too, which really would be awful. The beaches for us are about less than 5 minutes away. I don't know if it's going to happen by you, but we love your Rhode Island beaches.
They're already talking about the beaches being closed in Massachusetts. I'm not sure about Rhode Island, but it's to that point. You know, you're dying to get here in Rhode Island. I'm dying to get up in Maine. So
we'll switch. We'll switch.
Yeah.
So we have.
I had a beach, but she moved out.
What happened? I didn't hear you, honey.
I said I had a beach, but she moved out.
Uncle Ed. Mine's still here. She just won't leave.
whoa! I don't be getting no breakfast lately.
Mom, did you hear that? Oh my word!
I'm sorry. I'm just praying for snow.
You are so fresh. We
Grace-
put soap in your mouth, and we're only down to flowery soap, so that goes over well. So we have the ultimate repair drop-off story. So yesterday,
Oh my god.
he had a machine. So someone dropped off a machine for repairs, and he told the gentleman he would contact them when the machine was done. Fair enough, right? Okay. It should have been a very simple drop-off and pick up. So he had to run out yesterday. All of a sudden, now we have a doorbell, one of those like Nest cameras.
Yep.
All of a sudden, I'm sitting there on a work conference call, and I hear someone, he left to go run a quick errand. I hear someone screaming his name. I thought it was his favorite boys next door. And so I'm ignoring it because I didn't know he left. He didn't tell me he ran to go run an errand. So I ignore it. And then all of a sudden I hear someone about to go like near our backyard screaming his name. So now I'm like, oh my God, it's not the neighbors. They would never do that. So all of a sudden someone's banging on our door. Jason! Banging. Not using the doorbell. So I go to the door. There's a gentleman and older gentleman, baseball cap, a bandana barely hanging over his mouth, screaming his name. And I'm going, I'm not going to open the door now. Like, who knows what's... I said, can I help you? And he goes, I need my mower. Is my mower done yet? And I said, did he know you were coming? And, I'm trying to be kind and help him out. And I go to open the door and he goes, no, I'm sick. And now I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, why are you going near my husband? Why are you touching my door? And he's waving money at me and he goes, I'm putting it under the mat, but don't touch it for a few days. I've been so sick. He's like gray as a ghost, coughing all over the place. And I can't ring. I'm calling him. And he turns around. I don't know where the mower is. Thank God I didn't because it wasn't done yet. He looks in the driveway and he goes, should I just take one of these other mowers? It was like, what? I was like, oh my God. So he proceeds to get home and this guy leaves. He's in the back by his she shed working on it. And the guy comes back and he's pounding on the door again. I see his car. Is he back? And it's like, you're sick. Go home. Oh my God. What's wrong with people?
Meanwhile, he reached out to me to fix his lawnmower. So I just tried to be a, keep the lawnmower for a week because he expected me to drop everything to fix it. Like, you're supposed to drop it off in November. Now it's an emergency. I play games like that sometimes. I don't know. That's just me. Where's the chat?
Meanwhile, it's like at this point, it's like 6:30 at night. It's starting to sprinkle. You're not mowing your lawn tonight. You're sick. He looked like he was like knocking on like the next door, if you know what I mean. And then it's pouring. You're not mowing your lawn, and you probably shouldn't. Like health-wise, you probably shouldn't. Like, it was amazing to me, like, what he considered to be, like, acceptable. Like, you're touching people's doors. You're touching people's equipment. Like,
she went through the roof because she,
I
like
lost
I said,
my mind.
We have two different approaches of what's going on. And it is what it is. She went into, like, a paroxysm. She freaked out.
He comes home. I strip down his uniforms. We wash everything down. Like, one of his very good friends actually contacted us yesterday.
Yeah. Oof.
Their babysitter
has
the mother has and so it clearly has to be in their home now. And this is a very close friend. I said, see, it affects people Like, I think it needed to hit someone he knew for him to believe it happens.
I didn't say I'm not believing it. I just have a different approach.
That's the same thing that happened to me. If you guys remember, about 2-3 weeks ago, my brother gave me a call.
And how are they making out, Lucky?
He's doing a little bit better. It's to the point where same thing you're just saying. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, it's not going to hit me. I don't, it's no big deal." But once it does hit home, and you know somebody seriously, and they have it, it's like, wow, it stuns you. But fortunately, everything's going okay. His girl's better, and he's just, getting over it. So
yeah.
He said it seems like it's like a heavy duty flu.
Yeah, which is not something you want anyone to have to go through. And and with his friend, there's children in the house.
Yeah,
and,
two young children.
Being in my line of work, we're starting to see the children getting sick from it now. And I said, it's just, there's no reason when you're sick with it, you need to go pick up your lawnmower.
My brother lives with his kids, which is 2, and his girlfriend, his wife, has, I believe it's 2 children as well. So it's 4 kids in the house.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah, and it's like they can't even really see them. They have to talk through the door.
Aw.
Yep.
Mick.
And they're young kids, too.
The prima ballerinas in the house. You're so pretty. How are you doing, Princess?
You figure as soon as Mr. Briggs pops on, Nick wants to jump on too. Is there something you guys like to share with us?
Hold on a second. Mick, I just want you to know, the other night, I couldn't figure out why the mister was a little inconsolably sad. And then I noticed you had a live. And it seemed like you were giving Mr. Briggs a little extra attention the other day. I realized he might be jealous.
Well, whenever I see Mr. Briggs, I get this hot flash come on and
I know, right? You have to open up a window. I'm cooking in here.
Mr. Briggs.
Quit being a pervert.
Oh, quit it. You fancy me, and that's the end of it.
No, Mr. Briggs, there's no looking away now, honey. If I'm not your type, I guess the one to your left is.
Mr. Briggs, do you have a present for me?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't roll that way.
Mr. Briggs. Woo!
Oh, my
Come
God.
on, baby.
One of these days I might just go to Ukraine just to bug you.
He said Ukraine. Well, if you go to Ukraine, you're going to go empty-handed.
Sweetheart, you want to come to the UK, not the Ukraine.
UK, whatever. I might just show up, though. Hey, I showed up at Henry's. I've done crazier stuff than that.
Brother, if you want to take me to the Ukraine, feel free. But I want a nice hotel with a hot tub. That's all I'm saying.
So Scott, you just
I ain't going to take you anywhere. I'll show up someplace.
So Scott, you just got done working?
Yeah.
Where'd you
When you gonna come and take a week off and come and fix our junk? Look at this is from a truck leaking on me all night long.
What was it leaking?
You just keep talking dirty to me, old man. You just keep talking.
You couldn't handle this, old man.
Oh.
Sweetheart, if you can handle a slice of a Tidal, bring it on.
I got a famous relative that I got several famous relatives that couldn't handle my family either.
Mr. Briggs,
No, they probably just couldn't handle you. They just couldn't.
Mr. Briggs, this is all the fame you need in your life. That's what I'm doing. So how are we all doing?
See, at your facility, so your truck, is it kept at a FedEx facility or do you guys keep it off-site?
What's that?
Your truck, do they keep it at a FedEx facility or you guys keep it off-site?
No, it's at the facility.
Because I've seen those yellow lines. Those are very distinct. You can't step outside those without your PPE, correct?
Oh no, I go in there anyways. They're trying to force us to wear that stuff.
Surprise, surprise.
It's against my constitutional right for the governor to give an executive order. I don't listen to him.
No, but I mean,
you know what?
Those yellow lines,
Exactly.
if you cross those yellow lines, you're supposed to have your glasses on,
Those yellow lines have been there for since they built this building. You think I pay attention?
I guess they don't enforce them.
No, they've tried, but it don't work with me.
Surprise, surprise.
They want their stuff.
Oh my. Oh my.
So Uncle Ed, how was your week? Are you
Good.
Are you still on split days, or are you working every day now?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm working
weather's
every
been
day.
really nice there.
What was that, Uncle Ed?
I
The
work
weather's
every
been really
day
nice
almost.
Oh, okay. Good. Now, you guys should be busier now because now the grass is growing by you, correct?
there. Yeah. Yep. Grass is starting to grow. People are out mowing.
Nice.
Now, a majority of your mowers, are they all hustlers?
Yes.
There's only one hustler here. Stop leaning over to my side of the screen, Mr. Briggs. Stay over your own side.
Your head keeps disappearing, Briggs.
Oh, we got a break. That's right. So
Oh, here. I come over towards you.
Let's bring him over here, sweetheart. You come and sit right next to me.
So we missed Ken the other day, but Ken got so bent out of shape over a torch plug, he created a lot, and he was fishing for
Right.
Roy. But I
Oh,
guess
like
Roy
this.
wasn't on. So I guess as soon as Roy pops up somewhere,
Right there.
someplace,
Well,
Ken's
Right
gonna
there.
stick his teeth into Roy.
Yeah,
Oh,
right
torch
there.
plugs.
There's a
Yeah,
Looney
yeah.
Tune.
I don't like torch plugs. I've got two of mine from in the bin this morning.
Aw.
So no matter what, if you get a machine with a torch plug, you take it out automatically, even if it runs.
That's right.
If I got a machine in that somebody had bought brand new and couldn't get it to start without even testing anything, the torch plug is taken out and thrown across the hedge, and that's it, done with. And I'll start from scratch. I'm not even going to entertain it. It's not even going to happen.
So you don't even, let's just say you get a lawnmower to resell. You won't even put a torch plug in it from your stand.
If it was my last plug in the shop and it was brand new, I would order a new set of plugs and wait 3 weeks for a new plug to come in rather than sell it with a torch plug in it.
Golly. I don't know. We don't have those problems here. Those torch plugs are rampant in the new snowblowers. That's
They're
an issue.
crap. They're crap.
Yeah.
Ed, are they crap?
You proudly said yes.
I don't even know if they'll break a window.
Yeah.
Now, because I feel like, Ed, you're on the States. Like, you see a lot of problems with torch plugs or no?
I see no problem with them, except for you can't throw them far enough.
Maybe I should.
Now what?
Golly, I don't-
Educate the uneducated here. What's the issue with them? And Mick, you can't say everything. What is the issue?
Jesus.
think
Don't
they
everybody speak at once.
Well, you
I
told
think
not
they
to say
perfectly
anything.
foul 'em.
They just don't work.
They just don't work. And so then what is the alternative then?
All right, your method of looking at it, you have a KitchenAid appliance, and then you have a Walmart appliance. Which one would you use?
The KitchenAid.
There you go. That's the reason why.
So why do these companies bother putting these torches in the machine?
Because they have to buy something
no.
in Japan.
Is it typically a crap machine to begin with?
No.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Predominantly
okay.
in the UK, anything that is sort of mass produced within the supermarkets or mega stores, anything that's mass produced, even Mountfields and what have you, even some of the higher end common stuff, they'll either have a Torxin or they'll have one of these kiddies. These are ALMs 19s, which are just as shocking. And you can buy those. They want nearly $3 a plug for that. Okay. And what I think happens is when they get manufactured, instead of them being tested to see if they spark, someone does this for about 5 minutes just to make sure it's well and good and broken before you get to it. Because every single one of those I've had are no good. I don't have a Torx plug in my second-hand socket. You won't find one in here. It's not going to happen. Mm-mm.
And is the difference between the Torch and a better one pennies on the dollar?
I wouldn't know how much a Torx plug is brand new because I wouldn't even entertain it. Full stop. I have no idea. I know Roy, and I'm not digging at him. I'm not digging at him. He's had them and he likes them and had no problems. I've had nothing but grief of them. Nothing but grief. But
How often you change your plugs off?
What on my own machinery?
Yeah.
Every 3 months.
Those are the spark plugs that you find at the dollar store, and the dollar store sells them for $1.
I wish. I wish.
Why are you laughing, Mr. Briggs?
Spark plugs are $2 a pop, and that's trying to buy in bulk. And,
Mr. Briggs, why are you laughing about my 3 month change around?
My father's a retired journeyman maintenance machinist, and he will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to, I'll bring him on here someday. He's 50 years experience. You never have to change a plug until it stops firing. Mm-hmm. I've got that lawnmower. I started in one pole, hasn't been changed since it was brand new, and it's over 15 years old. It's a misconception to change a plug.
Mm-hmm.
All it does is look pretty and white at the tip.
What I'm saying is,
pop it back in.
My own mower, which I use to cut my own lawn and 15 to 20 other lawns every fortnight. A plug should be guaranteed up to 150 hours. Shouldn't give you any problems up to 150 hours. However, because I do a full service on my own machine every 3 months, spark plug, clean the filter out, oil change, because it's doing high mileage, it's easier for me to change the plug every 3 months than it is to get a machine break down on me whilst out on a job. If I don't have a spare plug, I'm coming home. So I just change the plug for what it costs. It costs you what, $2 for NGK. I can earn that by cutting my first stripe on the first lawn. So it's not a problem for me.
I don't change the air filter until it stops running. I blow it out.
Yeah, but
it's got the original air filter. The only thing I change is my oil once a year.
That's exactly it.
Royal Purple.
I can't warrant having the machine come in, and if it's in for a service, the plug has to be changed because you're committing to a contract to say, I'm servicing your machine, therefore it must have a new plug.
Oh, yeah, that there. I mean, they're paying for it. But when it's my dollar going, I'm a cheap bastard.
Yeah, that's why I have a whole load of spare plugs, second-handers, that have come out of machines that there's nothing wrong with. So when I'm just doing running repairs, if a machine comes in that requires a spark plug, I either give it a brand new one or I'll take one out of the spare one, which has been clean, gapped accordingly, which works fine. No biggie.
See, I used to put a spark plug on every machine I resold or repaired. And it got to the point I have another buddy who lives down the block. He likes to take like 5 or 6 carburetors and he'll try and make one work. And God bless him. That's how he wants to do it. By all means, have at it. So he comes and takes all my old carburetors and he's taking all my spark plugs. And I'm like, and he's like, dude, you're throwing away money. Do you understand that? He was like, I take these spark plugs. And so then he's like, I put them in. So then you do $2. And what I did, like I had like 343 transactions last year. So 343 times 2. That's a lot of nice. That's a nice chunk of change to throw out the window and get to somebody else. So this year, I just started, regapping.
Here's your cream, Mick.
And see you later, love you, bye. But if the machine starts on the first pull, I don't even pull the plug. I let it go. Don't even waste my time. Because I can't get nothing cheaper than $2. Like I'll throw a new air filter on a lawnmower. That's $1. That's cheap insurance. And that's really cheap in adding the value per se.
But we're getting.
I agree with you, Jay. Is if you can't run a machine and tune it correctly with a dirty air filter. Even if you blow it out, you can't tune that carburetor successfully as it should be per manufacturer's spec.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. And people
I've never had to tune a carburetor.
Say again.
I've never. That lawnmower I started yesterday has never had the carburetor off. It's 15 years old.
I understand that, but a machine should suck in the correct amount of air and the correct amount of fuel as per the spec.
See, I think you're lucky with your situation because you keep your lawnmower outside. I've had people where I wouldn't say get into an argument. We have to have a discussion on why their lawnmower runs like crap, but even though their air filter looks good. You know what I mean? Because I charge for a tune-up. If your air filter is more than $1, then all you have to do is just pay a couple extra bucks for a tune-up. And then, you know, you quoted me this much for a tune-up. I'm like, yeah, well, your machine doesn't have this air filter that I keep in stock. So it's going to cost this amount of money. And I have no problem calling it show, tell, and sell. So I'll take a picture of their air filter and, you know, I'll send it to them. And they're like, well, it looks clean. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. That particles, that breaks down and clogs everything up. And you can tell when someone keeps their lawnmower outside and when someone keeps it inside. So even though the air filter looks good, it's absolutely garbage on the inside. There's no filtration passing through. So that's absolutely amazing, Scott, that air filter has lasted that long. That paper should have broken down years ago from the elements. Years. I'm almost tempted to say.
You make a lawnmower air filter last? You put a pre-filter in.
I throw those in the garbage. I throw pre-filters in the garbage.
Those pre-filters save a paper filter.
They're like
the green things.
And
those pre-filters, you wash those pre-filters and Dawn dish soap, pop them in. You'll get 5 years longer off a paper filter with a pre-filter. They are not garbage.
I fully endorse that. I fully endorse that. If you do have a pre-filter system on the engine, then a pre-filter will save or prolong the life of the main filter. That's exactly its job. It's no different to having an inline filter on your fuel. If you have an inline filter, it prolongs the carburetor cleanliness within the tubes and the main jet. It's the same thing.
You should never throw them away. They're washable. They'll double, if not triple, the life of a paper filter.
Yeah, exactly that. So this then brings us full circle back to should you clean your filter? Because if you have no pre-filter, then your main filter or the only filter is doing the job of both. So therefore, if it gets bunged up, it's not sucking as much air incorrectly. Therefore, it won't run as you require it. And in some higher performance engines, you require to have a vast amount of suction, a bit like Ed's tractor. Ed, if you just stuck a stock filter on your tractor, you're not going to get the performance out of that machine that you require. Is it a Can-Am filter you got on yours, is it, Ed? Or similar? We call them Can-Am.
On my pulling tractor, I don't run a filter at all.
Because you want the air to come straight in direct.
Yeah, he's wired.
Same thing. Same thing.
See, the thing is, like with pre-filters, right? So I work on a lot of Quantums. That's why I bought 100 air filters in bulk, $100 a pop.
That's your own fault. Quantums are crap.
On one hand, how many pre-filters I have seen, and that's for the most part. Out the door they go. I keep pre-filters on backpack loaders. That I do, because those are just operated in the worst conditions ever for hours and hours upon end. The mice love pre-filters. Okay, I've never seen a pre-filter get chewed up because that's a pretty tight mitt to get in. From what I work on, I can't speak upon lawn tractors. How they wiggle their way in there. I know. And the engine cowlings, no matter what machine you have, in the engine cowling.
I think this also then begs the same question, doesn't it? What's the difference between a Briggs & Stratton? Let's just take the classic engine, a Briggs & Stratton classic air filter versus a Wuhan classic air filter. What's the difference?
You mean the Chinese copy versus the original?
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't see a difference. You could actually, you know what? In the sponge ones, what you're talking about, the classic ones, the sponge ones, you could feel the difference.
Mhm.
It's either it's made lighter or of a different material.
I think the density is there's more density to a original and less density to a copy. However, is it fair to say they both are doing the same things, or is it just because you either buy Nike Air trainers or you buy Gola trainers? They're the same thing. They go on your feet and you're able to walk in them. But is it just a name thing?
So I mean, because obviously, no matter what we're doing, it's for profit. So whether we're repairing or flipping, obviously the lower cost of acquisition is money in the bank. And I think the filter shouldn't make a difference, because if you abide by the rules, every 25 hours your lawnmower should be serviced, or every year when that mower comes back to you, you get to see that filter hand on. Does it get to be cleaned out, or does it need to be replaced? Once you start going past those intervals, you're almost setting not yourself up, but the customer is setting themselves up for failure. I mean, I remind them all the time. Even when you
do one thing, and I've seen a lot of you guys do it. You never oil on those classic Briggs. I've seen you do it. I've seen Mick do it. You're supposed to oil those filters. You put them in without oil, you're putting detrimental problems in the future on those engines. They are designed to be oiled because the oil traps the dirt. And then you rewash them and put them back in, wring them out, and put oil on them, 30 weight oil, and wring them out. Every air filter box says that. When you don't oil them, you might as well not put a damn filter in at all. Excuse my thing, but yes, they are designed to have oil.
I'll accept that.
To be fair, with a Briggs & Stratton Classic, you only have to tip the engine up once. You got enough oil in there to last a year anyway.
but they are designed to have oil. Because when you have oil, you might as well not have a filter at all.
There is lots of subjects that have been raised on lots of other platforms about should I oil, shouldn't I oil, and what oil is acceptable and what's not. There are lots of subjects on that, and I think again it has to come back to the type of mower, the frequency of use, and if the machine is a custom machine or just your own yard machine. Because as long as the average Joe just starts their machine up every 2 weeks and they expect it to last 6 months, and then they expect it to be serviced or potentially start the following year, I think that's acceptable. If you're looking at something that's being used every single day, day in, day out, then I would agree with you that every filter should be oiled if it requires it. If it's a standard $70, $90 machine that's going to get used every fortnight, I don't think they're worried about it any more than the next man.
But you know what's funny? The best oil filter they ever made, they don't even make anymore, is the Oil Bass. They were the best air filter there ever was. Not oil filter, excuse me, air filter.
Yeah, they're long gone.
I got a question.
I'm going to rotate somebody out. We got to cycle people through. Hold on. So we will put Roy in here. Well, hello, handsome, my hero. How are you?
Handsome. Jason, don't you start getting like Mick, mate, because I'm getting worried about him.
I just want to announce for the first time this year, I have Mr. Briggs on top of me. That's all I want.
Oh, God.
Come on, big boy.
Yeah, see you, Mr. Briggs.
No.
Oh my! Is he like straddling your head? Is that what's happening here?
Oh.
So I hear people
This
talking
guy
about
is
me.
demented right here. Right here. That guy right there is a little demented right here. We're straight down.
So here we go. I don't want to. So Roy was late to the party.
Now,
There's your cream there, Mr. Mick. There's your Vienna finger cream.
Thank you very much, big boy.
So I've missed the discussion about my favourite plugs, eh?
It's not that, Roy. As I say, we weren't. Yeah, well, I certainly wasn't. Mr. Briggs was. It's just a question. it's what you're used to, what you're prepared to spend, isn't it? And what experience you've had within the past. We've gone around this conversation 10 times last year already, and you, to date, have not had a bad one. Simple.
No, I still, I put one into a mower yesterday, as I told you on the phone there, Mick, and it's gone. Yeah, no problem.
Well, it's just like champion. It's just like champion plugs, Motorcraft, and GK. You know.
Yeah.
The interesting thing for me, Doug, is that when you get a brand spanking new mower, in particular, with a Briggs engine on it, let's just take the E series for example. That's very popular in a minute. It comes with a champion plug, so even Briggs and Stratton don't endorse their own plugs.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. They don't. And a lot of times on the Briggs, that's what they call for.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't like champion plugs. I like NGK Motorcraft.
I got to say, I am an NGK boy, without a doubt. But I have also experience in a brand new box of NGK plugs. I have experienced 4 or 5 bad plugs in one box, and I think it is literally all down to the handling. I think when they're manufactured, they get thrown to the van, thrown to another van, and all the rest. I just don't think the handling is there. And if it could be handled with care, because they are brittle, they don't like being knocked, especially when they're hot. If you run an engine up, take the plug out and throw it on the floor because it's hot, you burnt your fingers, you might have damaged that plug by knocking it on the ground. They're only ceramic. Mm-hmm. They're no different to what we use to suspend the live rail on the railway line. It's the same thing. Technically, it's a spark plug. It's got a big metal pole through the center for a ceramic pot. You throw it on the floor to change it or whatever, or to do maintenance on a live rail. You put it back, potentially there's a hairline fracture in there. So I think a lot of it comes down to handling,
So where does NGK fall between?
I got a question for y'all.
NGK is high end. They're pretty expensive plugs here for us.
I was going to say
they're one of the top. Although they're mass produced in China, they're one of the top performance plugs, definitely.
Because I know that my Ultima. The only reason I'm familiar with it, my Ultima calls for an NGK. So, Mick, are you saying that you have money?
No, he doesn't like comebacks. He doesn't like comebacks.
Honey, I will show you how much money I got as soon as Mr. Briggs takes his shirt off. I will make it.
Where's Riley boy? Make it rain.
He's at
home. I ain't got nothing there, buddy.
Hold on.
Mr. Briggs.
Hold on. Ed's for it.
Now, boy, refresh me. How much do you pay for plugs? Because you don't buy in bulk. If I remember correctly, you go to a store and you buy them. You don't try and go to like a dealer and bully them and be like, listen, if I buy 50 plugs from you, you're saving on shipping in one box. What kind of deal are you going to give me?
Well, I buy them in boxes of 10.
Oh, okay. Boxes of 10 from the same store.
No, not from the store. I'll get them from online, from a dealer.
And so what's your cost of acquisition?
What, for 10 plugs with free delivery? I think it works out about £1.20 each.
I think NGK, a box of NGK B2LMs or BPRSs, they figure out at about £14, which is about $18, $19 for a box of 10 delivered to your door.
Yeah.
I'll just have a look, see what my last lot was.
14 quid in the UK.
Because that's like I got those quantum filters at $1 a piece. That's only because I called up and says, hey, if I get 100, what can you do? So I got, was it 2 or 3 years ago? I got 100 of them delivered to my front door for $100. That was phenomenal. So I tried reaching out to a couple of companies because now we have the newer engines with the plastic carbs, with the torch plugs. Now these machines are starting to come of age, and now the filters, I can't save them. And they are like anywhere from $3 to $5. I couldn't get a quantity of 100. I was only able to get a quantity of 30. That's all they could sell me. and I think I ended up getting it less than $2 a filter, which is good. If I could buy more, I would have gotten it down to $1. But I just cannot get nobody. There is no give in spark plug. Whether I buy 1 or 100, I can only get it to around $2 a plug. It's absolutely insane.
Right. These torch plugs I got, the last lot I got were £10.98 for 10.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So I think that's less than $2 a plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, less than that. A lot less than that. Now, those quantum filters you're saying, I bought 20 for £12. So what that is, I don't know. They are copies.
$16 $17. About $16 or $17, that is.
There you go, Carts.
Yeah, let's have a look.
You're getting him
Dollars.
excited to do show and tell.
Now, let me ask you all something.
Oh, is this what you want, man?
My climate.
There you go.
Oh my
Oh God.
I missed that.
God!
What?
Our house alarm.
And the good
Look
thing
at-
is,
I'm
and the good
gas
thing
for
is,
the ghost.
the good thing is, I can then play that.
Thumbs up.
I can then play that back onto live stream later on and watch with that. So, Mr. Briggs, the next time you want to do that, all I'm saying to you is, baby, is I've got your dollars right here, sweetheart. I got your dollars. Oh yeah.
Well, you're buying NGK, so you could at least throw 5s, Mick. Come on.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I got a 10, baby. I got a 10.
Oh,
No, here you go. Here you
Oh
go.
yeah, get $10 worth, baby.
Yeah. Right.
Hey,
those,
that's American money.
Mr. Briggs has his shirt off. You
That's
missed
U.S. money.
God.
it. And Nick is throwing 10s.
Here you go. Here you go. Give me some money. I'd take hundreds.
oh my God! Put it back, Jason.
While the cat's away, the mice shall play.
Oh my
Right,
God.
those.
That's
Here
U.S.
you go,
money.
Jason. Gas for the ghost. Hey, look at even a farmer stand.
I'm surprised. Jason's got his
I
shirt
lost
on for Roy.
I lost my hearing.
Roy coming on here.
I'll see you guys.
See you later, Bella.
Right, Jason. Those spark plugs in dollars works out at $13.74.
Okay.
Yeah. So and those 20 filters work out at $15.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So you're getting it cheaper. Jesus.
Yeah. And
You know, Lucky, that Amazon swoosh above your head makes you look like you got horns, like the devil. I love it.
So they came in like a big box, and like I guess this would be their part number. It's RP0071, and this is what I use all the time. And these even go on Hondas too. I don't feel any issue. These are the new ones that I just ordered. These are the only ones they would sell me in a quantity of 30. But then these are the other ones. I can't remember the last time I used these. See, yeah, we got the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same one, Mick.
But I guess because like I said, okay, so he came in a white box too. Yeah, mine don't come with the plastic. I don't need no plastic. I keep everything in the cover.
It's only
Yeah, but how much is a box of pre-filters going with that?
The plastic is only it's free because it comes with Chinese air in it. That's the only problem.
I'll forget to inhale it on the way around.
Yep. As the
No, I mean, if
coronavirus.
you ordered a pre-filters to go with that, how much extra would it be?
Didn't even entertain that thought. I don't. I'm not,
I don't bother with the pre-filters on
I'm
it.
not gonna put it in there.
Because you could charge them for that too.
But it's not that though.
That's more money.
It's not charging that. But if I go to flip something, it's. I'm not trying to say I'm cheapskating, but I tell a person it's been serviced every.
No, the only one
25
cheap
hours,
is Henry. There's no one cheaper than Henry.
Well, you know what? Henry just has his methods and his things, and it works. I went to go visit Henry yesterday to drop off something, and he had somebody driving away with the John Deere on the back. So it's working.
Yeah,
you guys just have to remember when you watch Henry is a flipper. So.
Oh yeah, but you kind of proved my point with the snapper. I mean, because you sold one for 125 that was beat to crap. The one he's got is not beat to crap, and he's just gonna let it sit there and junk it for $50.
Yeah, well, you know,
He's throwing
Henry,
away good money.
Henry's
his
back,
own.
Oh yeah.
Henry's backed up with lawn tractors.
To each his own and moving on. Okay, excellent. And I love that Nikki is now in the small engine chat. Nikki, I love it. A young man with a lot to say and a lot of great information. Nikki, I love having you here today. This is wonderful.
Yeah, so
Make sure you're following this gentleman.
So I believe when it comes to cars, I believe in OEM plug. I do not believe in putting something that doesn't. I don't know. I was brought up like that. That's the way it is. If her car calls for NGK from the dealer, you know, he has, I forgot. I think yours calls for something like that. Her spark plugs are stupid expensive. Stupid because they call for an Iridium. I
Can't wait to stupidly move her on.
I can go for a cheaper plug, but it calls for NGK. That's it. My other truck calls for AC Delco because it's GM. It gets AC Delco. I've tried different plugs like an E3, and they come to crap. That's probably the only plug I'll throw out is an E3. If an E3 comes in on a lawnmower that I flip, that's what I forgot. An E3 goes in the garbage. I've had horrible experience with E3 plugs.
Those G3 are garbage. That is
I
just a
happen to
gimmick
like
they
E3s.
came out with.
I have those in a Lucky 7 mud mower, and tell you what, I never had not one problem.
Really?
Yep.
I've had
Tell
some
you what, they do work.
Out the door.
It may be washing money.
I will never buy another E3 spark plug in my life.
So I think so.
What did Puller say? Puller, say it again. I'm sorry.
So I will never buy another E3 spark plug in my life.
Ooh, they always fail. Always fail. Always the first one always cracks. Oh, I forgot about that. I wrote them off so long ago. Get it. I completely forgot about them.
If the tolerances in your motor are too tight, they will contact the piston. Guaranteed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't believe in E3. I remember because Sundays used to watch all the car shows when E3s came about. I bought them, and I had nothing but problems. They were always cracking. It was never the same cylinder, and I think I spent like anywhere from like $200 to $300 on them at that point. And ever since then, Frank, get it.
Hope you feel better, Thomas.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, E3s I'll even take out. Yeah, that's the only spark plug I'll throw in the garbage, and I'll throw in a torchlight over an E3.
So did you ever get that engine you had the other week, Jay, running sweet in the end? I know it was causing some issues.
So the Honda, I can't explain that Honda, right? That thing ran for a half hour because I needed to change the oil. That thing, I took that in as a trade-in. So that came in running and mowing. So I'm like, I got to service it. I just have to. So I let it run for a half hour in the rain, changed the oil, and I sold it that day. So how does it come back in 24 hours? Surging is a whole nother thing. So, I mean, like I said, times are tough now, per se, with a lot of people. So I'm selling a lot of equipment to people that have never, ever owned a lawnmower or anything in general.
Yeah, same here.
You know, they're being economic. They're getting rid of the landscape of the home. I think you say I'm a little bit more compassionate. I'm explaining to people what's going on. I'm having more comebacks or callbacks because you were talking about when people buy a lawnmower, how are they going to get it home? So I've been getting a lot of people who fold the handlebars and then they don't connect the bail cable when it comes home, and now the lawnmower don't start, and they want to know why.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. So with this guy, you know, how does it come back the next day with surging? He said his gas was fresh, and I'm not going to, fight with him. So he met me at my job the next day, and, he felt terrible because I started the lawnmower right in front of him. It wasn't surging at all. I'm looking at this thing, and he's like so apologetic. I'm sorry I wasted your time. So he tried playing the governor, but he was just moving the governor back and forth. So he would hit the governor, and the engine would surge, but then the governor would correct itself because it's an auto, like the choke would. So I'm like, all right, there's nothing wrong here. So then I says, you know what? You're here. Let me take the lawnmower back while it's here. Let me just go through it. So I'm lucky I took it back and I was able to mimic his issue. Like I said, it cleaned out the carburetor. It screamed like crazy, and it was surging again. Then it screamed like crazy. And I said, you know what? I'm running out of time. Let me park it in the garage. And then I pulled it out the next day, and the thing fired up and ran fine for another half hour. And then I said, you know what? This thing is good to go. I called him. He picked it up. I haven't heard from him since. So I don't know. It's just one of those weird things. I used his old gas. His gas was fine. I don't know. It's just one of those freak things, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. Is it a tool or some type of gauge? You know how they have antifreeze gauges that you put in the antifreeze? It tests the antifreeze. Is there a method to be able to find out if the gas is good or bad, such as like a gauge?
So I think there is no. I was never taught of like a thing for gas. I think it just goes by scent per se, right? And then if you want, you have to drain the gas out, and you have to physically look at it in a glass jar, see if water separates, see if there's anything contaminated in there.
I'm just kind of curious if there's like a home method. I know like the contractors, they'll go to the fuel stations and they'll measure, the octane and stuff with their measurements. But I was wondering if there was some type of gauge that you could be able to stick into like a gas can and find out how much octane and how much fuel, if it's good and bad,
No. And
I generally just use my nose. I undo the fuel cap and put my nose across it. If it don't smell right, it comes out. It's as simple as that.
See, but if the gas isn't so bad, I'll just throw it in my car. I'll recycle it in my car, no problem. Unless the gas is horrible and rusty and crusty, that's a different story.
I usually dump a little bit on the ground and light it with my match. So it's good gas. So that's how I do it. I just figured, maybe there was an easier method.
Yes, there are tests. There are tests to test gas. They're usually hydrophobic or hydro whatever tests, and they have test strips with chemicals you can use to see what additives and see what the BTUs and stuff of it is.
So it's kind of complicated. It's better off just do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they had some type of tool that you could stick inside the gas can and like the antifreeze testers, Remember they had with the levers that go up and down?
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Well, they probably have a
problem. People make high test.
Oh.
So here's a question that's high. So Rob is local to me a few towns over, and we met doing this. So
I feel bad for him.
So
Rob,
was that you coming out of kindergarten?
So at the point of, I forgot, I was editing a video.
First grade.
I'm up to 32 lawnmowers sold, and I have one left. There are a lot of new players that have caught on, per se. There was only just a handful of us. And it got to the point where someone was selling a non-running lawnmower for $100, and the guy was firm, and he sold it. Now that lawnmower is worth $130 to $140 tops. That's how I didn't use the word desperate, but competitive it is right now. And I would never leave my house for $40. That's
without a doubt, and it's exactly the same over here. We're seeing, especially within the selling sites, especially within them. Lots of people are selling broken machines for 3 times what I would normally pay for them, and lots of people are selling machines that are just running, simple as. And but they sort of say, "It's running fine this year." Blah 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 blah. Been a good lawnmower. You then go onto his profile, and he's got 15 mowers.
Yeah.
So they're actually lying. It's not actually his machine. It's it's just one he's got in. And I think all the time that's why most of the time when I sell a mower, it's sold as fully serviced, fully working.
Absolutely. I won't sell it any other way because
come around
that I show.
That's all you can do. So people doing it.
Yeah, it's. I'm not saying it's ugly out there, but it's like that's why I had 5 generators, and I'm like, you know what? Bring them all in. I'll go through. There is no flipping. I was gonna buy from another flipper because he lives in a different part of the island. He sells his lawnmowers. He doesn't service all of them, but they're clean. They're really nice. All I gotta do is change oil and sharpen the blade. I was going to take the 15-minute trip, but I was going to buy every lawnmower he has. I wasn't going to go there for 1 or 2. I was going to go there between 8 and 10. And only because I was going to buy in bulk, it was worth it for me. And I was going to try and make anywhere from $50 to $80 per machine. I mean, that's how bad it is right now. So like I can't balance flipping and fixing. I enjoy flipping more because I feel like it's I can't say it's more like instant money, but it's like I don't have some guy coming down 3 days later. You've been waiting for November to fix your lawnmower. Like there is no.
Was this yesterday's negotiations?
Yeah.
Yeah, he called yesterday, and you know what is everybody's feeling extra hyphy? Like people that have never sold anything before are like, no, I'm going to hold on to this for an extra 25.
Yeah, $25.
And it's like, you have him right here. He just bought 2 pieces of equipment. You're gonna let him go.
Guy.
You're gonna let him go over $25 to buy 2 more pieces.
But this
of
wasn't
equipment?
another flipper. This was the guy I went to his house. Went to go buy
they're
something.
feeling good about themselves.
When every time I go buy something, I always ask, "Do you have anything else lawn care related for sale?"
It's always good to ask.
So I got a really good deal on a lawnmower and a weed whacker. He had a really nice head trimmer, a really nice backpack loader. He literally wanted almost retail for them. I says, "You got to be kidding me, right?" I says, "You're gonna have riffraff come to your house over this?" And so I just ended up walking away. I wished him well, and that was it. But I was gonna buy about 10 lawnmowers in bulk, and we were just a $25 difference per machine. Cash in hand.
I'll give you an example of what we're up against over here, right? Okay, this is just an example. There's a fella here, and he's in the next town to me, and he's got 3 lawnmowers for sale, right? 3 lawnmowers, which is cool. One is a hater, which is a good make over here. Yeah. Sorry, 2 are haters, and 1's a Mountfield. So 2 of which are good makes, okay? And he wants £50, which is about, I don't know, what's that, $65, okay? Jason, do you want to make me big? I know normally I ask Mr. Briggs to make me big, but you make me big, Jason.
I think he already did before. Touché.
So these are about $60 to $70, right? Here's the first one. Hang on, let me find it.
Oh my God!
So no pull cord assembly, no grass bag. The carburetor's there. The height adjustment is broken. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is probably about 1970s Quantum. No grass bag.
That's a Mountfield, isn't it?
And also, there's been a repair to the far side of the deck, just below the carburetor. There's been a repair to the deck. See that?
Yeah. Is that an Empress?
And, no, it's not an Empress, Roy. No. And then we've got another one, which is another Quantum. Look at the state of that.
Oh wow!
It's got half of the pull cord assembly is smashed off. Okay, so he wants about $70 for 3 non-working machines, all beaten and broken with no grass bags.
That's insane. That's insane.
What's that?
Yard, wasn't he?
Seems like he's a scrapper.
But you know what that also reminds me of? You ever see, is a comment by you? I don't know where this trend came from. People take a picture of a tree that's like 20 feet tall.
Please take him.
Firewood, cut my tree down. Are you kidding me? That's not how it works. Cut my tree down, free firewood. So here's like a crap lawnmower that has a ring. Like
yeah, you go to Lowe's and buy the ones people return cheap too.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but I'm afraid.
And then guess what? You go onto his profile, and this is why they're expensive, because you go onto his profile and he's got a Honda 475 also up for sale in fully working condition.
Oh, so he
That's
knows
why
the
they're
game.
expensive.
He knows the game.
Well, he knows the game, but my lord, give £50, $70 for 3 non-working machines.
I picked up a free mower this morning. I got tagged yesterday on anyone pick up any. We're looking for scrap people to pick up any lawnmowers or a lawnmower. So I got tagged in it. I picked it up today, and it's a Troy-Bilt, 21-inch. That's the model. I've looked it up, but I can't find nothing on it, Jason. I don't know if you know it at all.
Okay, hold on. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Oh, part of it's missing. It looks like.
Yeah.
It's a 12A 1632Q7.
Good eyes.
Hold on. 1632. Is that 0711?
That's a Q.
It's a Q.
A Q.
Yeah.
Q711. It's a 12A 1632 Q711.
Okay.
I've tried looking at it. It's a 2003.
Okay.
I can't find nothing on it. It's a self-drive. It's been left out in the garden. The bag's full of moss. You can take me off big screen there.
No, leave him up there. Leave him up there. Leave him up there.
You're my hero.
He's just admiring you a little.
Look, I haven't even brushed my hair today. Look.
Yeah, I know. Uncle Ed, I'm the same way.
Do you see what
Hey, Mick, I've been chatting with your twin that came up on your stream a few months back.
Wait, what happened?
He lives down the road from you. His name's Andy.
Andy?
Don't you remember him?
Who? Who you talking to?
You.
Oh, yeah. Say again.
I was like, no.
I said I've been chatting to a bloke who lives near you, or not far from you-ish, who came up on your stream once, and I turned around and said, "Oh, look, he's your twin."
Andy, yeah, I know Andy, yeah.
Andy, yeah. I've been chatting with him on Facebook lately.
Yeah.
What part do you need,
He
bro?
does mowers and all, doesn't he?
He what?
He does mowers and all, doesn't he?
Yeah, he runs an auction down my way.
Ah, right. Yeah, because he was asking. He's got problems with a Haterette with the old Spark, the old point system one, the old 35.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason, you're right about those red mowers selling. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Anything red, I can't keep bolted down. I mean, I joke around. I'm like, oh, everybody's racist. Nobody wants a black lawnmower or a yellow lawnmower or green lawnmower. If it's red, they're going to take it. I mean, that's like, there's no, I remember you guys telling me, I don't want to repeat myself. I brought 2 lawnmowers, black and red. The black one was better. They asked me which one was better and why, and they took the red one anyway. So why even bother?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you gonna?
It breaks his heart because black's his favorite color.
That's a different story.
Everything black.
That's a different story. But I mean,
a red mower is faster. Ed, behave yourself. It's a bit like going to a rowboat lake and saying, "Give us your fastest one," isn't it? You know,
yeah, it's like absolutely insane. So, Roy, what parts are you looking for out of this lawnmower in case I can turn something up for?
Oh, I don't know yet, mate. It's still in the back of the wagon there. I only picked it up this morning.
Okay,
but it's got a Honda engine on it.
Ooh,
oh.
Nice.
Run away! If it doesn't run away.
It's got a CV 160, is it?
Yeah. So
yeah, overhead cams.
yeah. So I have a video with remember that was like a big thing. I think I messed up that engine because I adjusted the valves to an overhead valve spec and not an overhead cam. But it could also be because it has the timing belt and the plastic
The cam gear.
Gear drive, timing gear. It could be melted. I'm not pulling that engine apart. So look at it.
No.
It's not happening.
Don't. Yeah.
I'll never rip apart a lawnmower engine. This is just not worth it.
Yeah, I had to tear one apart. I had a stuck valve, so I had to take the whole thing off.
See, but that's different. You take the valve cover, that's different. But if you want to talk about the internals of doing pistons and rings or a rod, absolutely not. Or a crankshaft,
Yeah.
I'll collect those things till tomorrow. You know what I mean? There is no way. No engine is worth ripping apart unless you're doing it for yourself.
Girlfriend, don't tell me no engine is worth ripping apart to do the crankshaft. You keep your eye out for one of my videos coming very, very soon, and I will show you how you can still change a crankshaft and still make money.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And you want to call yourself a flipper? I flipped this machine for 30 quid. with a brand spanking new Briggs and Stratton crankshaft installed.
Nice.
Now, 30 quid is what, around like $60?
Nah, not that. No. 30 quid's probably about
$45.
45.
Huh?
Probably about 45.
Mm-hmm. All you got to do, Jace, is just watch me. That's all you got to do.
Oh, he
Look at
does.
that,
Trust
Jason.
me.
Jason, you were looking for a video on crank straightening. Terrell has a really good one.
So here's the thing. So I like
Yeah, he does.
I have a lot of respect for Terrell, but my problem is when everybody does a crankshaft straightening video using the machine, they never show us the mower running after in detail how bad the shape still is.
You have to.
Right.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I would love to have a crank straightening device. Okay, over here in the UK, the cheapest crank straightening device is about £250, which is about $320. Okay,
That's right where it is, right here.
yeah.
So
Okay. I got one in. It was supposed to be my money maker out of a job lot. Now I only paid about £5 each for 4 of these mowers. So £20, which is about $32 for 4 mowers. And the one I wanted to make the money out of, big 21-inch deck, had a bent crank. Now the crank was bent beyond stupid. And my belief is there's no way you can put that into a jig and straighten that puppy out to the stage where you could say that crank is repaired. Okay, because it was bent in at least 2 places, at least. So not only was it overling, but it's also chucking out the top and bottom as well. But what I will say is you can get a brand spanking new genuine crankshaft from the dealers at a really, really reasonable price. And as long as you are prepared to put the time and effort in, and this is where me and you differ, Jace, is that you want to flip it. You want to spray and pray, turn it, service it, and get it gone. Don't mind having the machine in for 3 or 4 days, strip it down, re-grease it, set the time in, all the rest of it, have it looking right, and then sell that machine out a week later. That's the difference between me and you. But the value of that machine is now going to be up and above $220, $250 with a brand new crankshaft in it.
It depends. Like your snowblowers that you.
Yeah, snowblowers are different.
You know,
Yeah.
it depends.
The snowblower engine's a couple $100. You know what I mean? So that's different. I'll open up a snowblower.
I mean, you can buy over here. You can buy a second-hand engine to fit that mower for the same price what it costs to fit a crankshaft.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, it may just pay just to get a second-hand engine, throw it on there, and done. The difference is it's good content. Change a crankshaft.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I got that big beast in the freaking driveway.
So I've got to go.
Yeah, we're gonna call it quits. It's
I've got to go because
we're over a half hour.
and
We had Nick here, which was fantastic. We had a lot of people here. We absolutely enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So my
Thank you
hero,
so much.
One Mower 7
See you
goes
later.
5 to 10. Catch that. Have
Yes.
a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy. Take care.
Nick, we have Nick's live later on today.
Yes.
Nick, you're about 6:15.
Yeah, I'm live tonight. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
And don't forget to check out Nick's Small Engines. Lucky's got a giveaway happening, but you have to be there on his lives.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You never
See you later
know.
on, people.
You never know when it's going to
Bye-bye.
happen.
We had a few new people here, Rob
Yes.
and Road. It was good seeing you guys. Thanks for stopping
Yes.
by. We'll see
Thank
you guys
for the
around.
love, everybody.
Have a good
Be
one.
safe.
Later.
Everybody later. Bye bye.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye, everybody.